Yes, sir, you are.
Chalo, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for this great introduction. Chalo, before we start the session, I want quick everyone, please switch on the cameras. Okay, we will set the context for this. We have to be over here for last now 1 hour. We will be over with you. So we have to make more out of it. Okay. So we have to utilize this time to have upliftment in our career. Okay. Whether you've been a lawyer, law student, just having the quick message that whether you in which year you've been studying or whether you've been the lawyer. So in that manner, I will take the further session ahead. Okay, just I want to kick chat that pertains to whether you've been the law students, lawyers, or whether you've been aware of this. Okay, so now before we start for the today's session, I would like to let you know that we are going to understand more about the real estate laws that is an in the specific era pertains to an RERA. Okay, what RERA has been there, how RERA comes into the picture, what was the earlier scenario that was been there, then thereafter, what makes the RERA comes into the picture, what is the current scenario, what are the opportunities for the young lawyers who is the budding lawyers like you been there. So what are the things, what are the opportunity being a young lawyer, being you have people to grab at this moment that we are going to understand. Very simple. We will keep it very properly, and whatever the questionnaires has been there, you may have an hand raised in between and you may ask at that moment, so that entirely flow of the questionnaires or the understanding of the today's session will clear. I hope so everyone is with me. Please switch on the camera so I won't understand whether you've been with me or not. Okay, so everyone, it's humble request to everyone, please switch on the cameras. Okay. Chalo, we'll start for the today's sessions. Okay. Before we start for the today's session, I would like to let you know that Real Estate Regulations and Development Act 2016. So this is the act which came into the force into 2016. Prior to this, what was the scenario? Which act was governing? Are you aware of that? Prior to this act, which act was governing these rules and regulations of real estate industry? Now, earlier to this, taking with an example, in Maharashtra, there was a Maharashtra Ownership Flats Act. Okay. So this act was regularizing the real estate industry, not and specifically for the real estate industry. Okay, are you getting it? So what were the major problems? See, जब भी कोई act आता है, when this act comes into the picture, there is one history pertains to that. Every time when acts comes into the picture, we have to understand the purpose and objective of the act. Okay, objective क्या है, वो क्यों आया हुआ है, तो उसके कोई प्रॉब्लम्स होंगे और उसके कोई सॉल्यूशंस होंगे, तो हम वो प्रॉब्लम्स और सॉल्यूशंस को स्टेप बाय स्टेप करके समझेंगे. Just a minute, I will share the PDF with you, so PPT with you, so you can understand with me, you are with me. Okay, follow. So in the today's session, we'll understand benefits of RERA, objectives, which projects comes under RERA, and which projects will not come under RERA. Simple, very simple. हम समझते हैं. चलो, everyone with me, please. Can you have the thumbs up? Yes, I'm with you. Chalo, great, great, great. RERA, Real Estate Regulations and Development Act, comes into the picture in the year 2016. That was passed by the Parliament, and that comes into the effect rules and regulations in the 2017. Number one, everyone please make a notes, have the note and pen. Okay. First, this act is an central act. Number one, this act is a central act which has been passed by the Parliament. Number two, the rules and regulations of the RERA is different for each and every states. Means act remains the same in entire India, but rules and regulations of this is been changing from state to state. Followed, understood? Then thereafter, this is an you have whether you've been, I don't know whether you've been learning or not. In the constitutions, there has been list. One is a central list, one is an concurrent list, one is an state list. Means the act, the one who have the powers to make the act. Suppose the state act has been different. Central act, always remember, central act prevail over the state act. मतलब central act बड़ा होगा हमेशा state act से. Okay. Now, the act which is been there, the RERA Act, this is an central act. But this is an concurrent list. This falls under the concurrent list. The state also have the rights as well as the central government is also having the rights. Followed, understood? Basic समझना है हमें. Okay. तब हम dive slow and steadily. We will go into the technicalities of this. Okay. Getting it? So, क्या जरूरत पड़ी रेरा एक्ट आने के लिए? What makes the RERA comes into the picture? Okay, this is very crux of the matters. Whatever the pointers has been there, everything has been over the covered in the section. So I will not discuss over here the sections. I will discuss over the concepts of yours. Now, suppose taking with an example. Okay, suppose taking with an example, one of you, either any one of you, suppose taking with the Nikhil have purchased any flat. Okay, prior to the 2016, if Nikhil want to purchase any flat, he will go to the developer or an agent. So developer will sell that property on the basis of either built up area, either super built up area, or either carpet area. Any one of you are aware of these three terms? Please can you raise the hands? Yes, yes, legal. Please can you let me know what is this? These things has been there. You can.
सर कारपेट एरिया मतलब जो जितना वहां पे कारपेट एरिया प्रॉपर होता है उसको बोलते हैं। और सुपर बिल्टअप मतलब जो कटिंग होता है मतलब 25%, 45%, दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन स्कीम टू स्कीम। अभी अभी जो न्यू स्कीम्स होते हैं उसमें 45% सुपर बिल्डअप होता है, मतलब उतना कटता है वो एरिया में से, कारपेट एरिया में से।
Okay, fine. So, see, try to understand. Carpet area means net usable floor area. जहाँ पे आपके घर में आप कारपेट बिछा सकते हो, वहां तक आप use what that is known as a carpet area. Then thereafter it is having and the built up area. Built up area है क्या? The area which is having the blocks, or you may say the ingress and ingress आने के लिए. Then thereafter you may say the walls of your flat. Now super built up area, there is no concept in the terms of eyes of law. Okay, there is no any concept in the law where super built up area has been there. So this term is been terminology has been invented by the builder lobby. Okay, anywhere in the law there has been no concept of a super built up area. Only on the basis of an carpet area and built up area, the situation is there. Okay, try to understand. Now, prior to the RERA comes into the picture, there was no carpet area ka definition. Okay, now RERA comes into the picture. RERA says very categorically stating that only and only on the basis of an carpet area developer have to sell. So जब भी आज के बाद कोई भी आपके रिलेटिव्स, आपके क्लाइंट्स, या आप जब भी कोई प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने जाओगे, you will only purchase that is RERA property only on the basis of an carpet area, not on the basis of an built up or super built up area. Clear thumb rule समझ में आया? Getting it? Are you with me? Yes, thumbs up. क्योंकि क्या, I just there should be an two-way round. Okay, not the one-way round. Just I have to understand whether you people has been getting or not. Okay, now reduces the risk of insolvency of the builder. Okay, how it reduces? RERA comes up with a very good solution pertains to that. RERA says that जब भी कोई property, whenever you've been purchasing any property from the builder, that amount will be go into one escrow account, that is one designated bank account. मतलब जो भी हम होम बायर्स मिलके कोई फ्लैट खरीदेंगे, कोई प्रॉपर्टी खरीदेंगे, तो वो सारा पैसा एक ही बैंक अकाउंट में एक्यूमुलेट होगा. After accumulations of that amount, then thereafter it has to be utilized particularly for that building, for the construction of that building. How that will be utilized? That will be utilized. There is one thumb rule in the RERA, that is an 70-30. Now, what is an 70-30 thumb rule? Please make a note, everyone. 70-30 means 70% of the amount which the developer will accumulate from the home buyers, that entire amount will be having the construction for the project. Then thereafter, remaining 30% of the amount will be utilized for n number of the purpose that we are not concerned to that. So how that will be accountable? Again, how, yeah, the question might arise in your mind. Yes, 70% to sir bol rahe, but uska how the accountability is when there. So RERA comes with that solution. RERA says that whenever the developer want to withdraw the amount from that designated bank account, from that escrow bank account, then thereafter he have to take the permissions of RERA. So how that is actually utilizing? Practically कैसे होता है? Then thereafter RERA comes up again with the solution. He says that every 3 months, means every 3 months, every quarterly, साल में 4 बार, every quarterly, the developer have to submit the three forms, that is a CA certificate, engineer certificate, and architect certificate. So what three things states about? These three things states about. Architect बोलता है कि कितने percentage of the काम अभी तक हो चुका है, how much percentage of the work has been completed. Number two, engineer talks about कि how much is been the constructions pertains to, or the how much amount has been increase and increase, मतलब कि कितना पैसा आया हुआ है, कितना यूटिलाइज अभी तक हुआ है. CA certificate उसका bifurcation करता है. It categorically states about the land cost, development cost, then thereafter the actual cost, and the what was the expected cost. ओके मतलब जब भी हम कोई प्रोजेक्शन करता है, पहले सीए प्रोजेक्शन करता है कि दिस कंस्ट्रक्शंस के लिए, फॉर दिस कंस्ट्रक्शन यू विल रिक्वायर दी 5 crores 10 crores, so this is an estimated cost. Actual cost will be on the site, how much has been required. So there's calculations and all those things, and how much flats has been sold, that has been calculated in the CA certificate. Followed? Understood? Clear yaar tak? How the accountability will be there, how it reduces the risk of an insolvency. Insolvency matlab kya? Are you aware what is an insolvency? Yes, Ume, what is an insolvency? Anyone?
Sir, unable to pay debt.
Unable to pay the debt. Now what is an bankrupt then?
Sir, they are the in same context, but sometimes it will be differing. Differ. So there's some difference will be there. Insolvency and bankruptcy. Bankruptcy can a person can be also bankrupt, and a company can only be a insolvent.
Very well. only and only an entity will be an insolvent, not an individual person. Wherein individual hota hai, wo bankrupt hota hai. Followed, understood? So it reduces the risk of an insolvency of the builder. Now, the term again comes as an advance payment. What is an advance payment, you may say? Advance payment means the payment whenever you, suppose for example, Anuj want to purchase any property. So he want to purchase any property where consideration price is rupees 100. So of that, Anuj have to pay more than 70 rupees pertains to that property prior to the registration of an agreement. So this was the major problem wherein the developer fails to deliver the possession of that property, and the developer accumulates the fund. So this was a major loophole in the system. Developer comes up with the solution, the RERA comes up with the solution saying that whenever any home buyer purchases the RERA property prior to the agreement to sell, उसको 10% of the amount के ऊपर नहीं देना पड़ेगा, and the developer have to not accumulate more than 10% of the amount. Followed, understood? Thumb rule: 10% of the amount can't be accumulated by the developer prior to the registration of an agreement. मतलब जब भी कोई अनुज बुकिंग करने के लिए जाएगा फ्लैट करने के लिए, तो कंसिडरेशन प्राइस अगर एग्जांपल के तौर पे 100 रुपए है, तो उसका 10 रुपीज के अबव the Anuj have to not give and developer have to not accumulate. Clear? Prior to the registration of agreement. So in the registration of agreement, it has to be mentioned pertains to these time slab rates as how payment has to be given, remaining 90 rupees. Followed, understood? That is none of our matter. Thumb rule बोलता है कि agreement से पहले 10% ही लेना पड़ेगा. Then thereafter, write to the buyer in case of the defects. Now, always remember, RERA is made for only 3 persons. RERA 3 लोगों के लिए ही बना हुआ है. One is an real estate agent. Make it note everywhere. दूसरा है real estate developer, that is an promoter. Okay. Followed, understood? Real estate agent, real estate developer. Third one is an home buyer, that is an LOT. Now, RERA comes up with the solutions. RERA ने act में very categorically it has been mentioned pertains to rights and duties of all those three. Okay. Now it says that whenever there has been defect pertains to the property, then in that instances, the home buyers, the LOT have right to sue to the developer as well as an agent if agent have played an fraud against him. Okay, clear? मतलब आपको रेमेडी है यहाँ पे कि आप डेवलपर के पास, डेवलपर के अगेंस्ट यू कैन फाइल अ सूट अगेंस्ट हिम बिफोर द रेरा अथॉरिटी. Followed, understood? Cleared? Then thereafter, interest to be paid in case of the default. Okay, what is an interest to be cased in the paid of the default? Wherein RERA comes up with the solution again. RERA बोलता है you have to not come up with a different interest rate. One will claim 10%, one will claim 20%, one will claim 30%. It's not like that. RERA comes up with the solution. RERA बोलता है कि we will be paying you the interest recover from the developer that will be only and only SBI's marginal rate plus 2%. आप इसके ऊपर क्लेम नहीं कर सकते हो. क्या है? SBI margin plus 2% interest you can claim. SBI's marginal rate कितना है? It varies from 8.75% to 8.95% plus 2%. So मोटा मोटा आप you can claim more than 10.75 to 10.85% you can claim an interest per annum before the rate authority against a developer. Followed, understood? With the clarity, conceptual clarity होनी चाहिए. Whenever there has been any defect in my property, well, you people have purchased the flats. Now, after purchasing of the flat, you will come up with that, yeah, cracks हो रहा है, Then thereafter, certain things that problems may arise, colors leakage, the quality assurance that was promised that has not been delivered, something that has been mentioned in an agreement that has not fulfilled. Okay, suppose for example, in an agreement that has been mentioned two ACs in the two rooms, 2 BHK flat, but ACs is missing. Or suppose for example, there has been drainage problems or the water leakage problems pertains to that. So there has been the defect on behalf of the homeowners. So कंप्लेंशन, तीन चीजें याद रखो, कंसेप्ट है क्लियरली मेंशन लिखो। सी जब भी कोई डेवलपर परमिशन लेता है कंस्ट्रक्शन करने के लिए, ओके, सपोज ही हैव टू कंस्ट्रक्ट द एक्स नंबर ऑफ द बिल्डिंग्स in the X floors, so he have to take the permission from the local municipal corporations. Okay, so local municipal corporations से permission लेना पड़ता है, तो वो permissions को क्या बोलते हैं, commencement certificate. What it says, commencement certificate. And based on that sanctioned plan, based on that layout plan, the developer have to construct the project. Once as per the sanction plan the project has been constructed, उसको permission लेना पड़ता है again authority से कि भाई as per this sanction plan we have completed this project, there has been nothing fraud and due diligence, nothing has been there and we have been complied as per this. So उसके बाद authority फिर से certificate issue करता है, उसे बोलते हैं हम completion certificate. Followed as per the sanction plan, the project has been completed. We says that that is when the completion certificate. So along with the completion certificate, there is one more certificate, that is an occupancy certificate. What is that? Occupancy certificate. Occupancy certificate yani kya? The wherein the allotees can live on that premises, wherein human being can reside in that premises, wherein there's a water, light, then thereafter electricity. So these are the basic human necessities that has been completed, and ingress matlab ana ya jana, that is an easementary rights that has been to that property. Then the OC has been received, that is an occupancy certificate. Followed, understood? So once occupancy certificate has been received, within certain times the developer have to give over the possession of the said flat. Whenever there was the undergoing construction project में आप home buyer के तौर पे flat खरीदते हो, in the process of whenever you've been the undergoing process, undergoing construction, you purchase the flat. So when you get the possession, when the OC of that project has been received, then after receiving the OC, within 5 years, if there will be any claim pertains to any defect or liabilities, so based on that you have to file and complaint before an rare authority. Followed, understood? Clear thumb rule? Everyone, are you with me? Yes, everyone. I want the involvement of everyone. Are you with me? Getting it? Simple? कुछ
Yes, sir.
complexity लगता है तो you may ask the questions. Okay, then thereafter, buyer's right in case of the false promise. Now this was a major problem earlier. So what was the problem was facing by the earlier home buyers was that the, suppose for example you people been purchasing the property on the basis of, suppose you've been riding on the bike and you see is that very good the holdings pertains to that. This there will be the golf, there will be the gym, there will be the amenities hall, and x n number of the amenities that has been there. The garden will be there, tourist gardens will be there, cafeteria area will be there. So this, on the basis of this, you people purchase the property. So after purchasing of the property, after looking into the sanction plans and all those things, you come across and this was the false promise. On the basis of that, we have purchased the property. Okay, under the false assurances, under the influence of selling the unit, so this is a false promise. So by making the false promise and selling the unit is a fraud against the developer, against the home buyers by the developer. So इसके लिए रेरा comes again with the solution कि जब भी कोई false promise करके, whenever the false promise once the false promise has been done and the units has been sold, in that case, you may come across to the RERA authority and file a sue against him. Followed, understood? Then thereafter, right to information. Now, earlier to the RERA, the majority of the problems which you've been seeing practicality is that practical life. The problem was that the home buyer was not having the informations at all pertains to that property. So what information like the layout plan, sanction plan, whether the sale unit which you've been purchasing, whether that has been sanctioned or not. One of my client was facing the issue pertains to is the unit which he had been purchased that was not sanctioned. So that was the illegal unit which has been sold, illegal construction. Taken with an example, the flat was the building was having the 8 floors, eight floors तक ही sanction था from the local municipal corporation. The developer have built on the ninth floor, and that ninth floor flat have been sold to my client. So wherein that ninth floor ka flat not was existence into the sanction plan. He have made the fraud entry. Okay. So this right, so because of this, it creates a majority of the major problems in that particular unit, particular building. So try to understand how you been a lawyer by thinking like a lawyer, by understanding this, how you will help to your clients, to the other members of the society, by your knowledge, by understanding the actual scenario of the purchased and this entire transaction. So always remember, whenever you've been or your client has been purchasing, whether the said unit has been sanctioned or not, you will ask the client. Then thereafter it comes at the grievance redressals. Grievance redressal mechanisms means certainly what was the earlier problem. So if any litigation arises, whenever there has been delay or the defects, so either prior to the RERA, you have to go before the consumer forum or you have to go before the civil forum. So this was a major problem earlier. So there was no straightjack formula, or there was no any eye-catching authority wherein the developer will be regularized. wherein जैसे एक एग्जांपल के तौर पे जीएसटी के लिए चले स्पेसिफिक जीएसटी फोरम है, wherein डेप्ट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल के लिए डीआरटी है, wherein this consumer के लिए कंज्यूमर है, but it is generalized on nature. So this happens. So revenue के लिए revenue forum है. So there was no specific forum who will regularize the real estate industry. So this makes it transparency. The entire objective of the act is to have the transparency into the real estate industry and have the accommodation of flats, units, and plots with the due consideration of law. So this was the things. Okay. So are you getting it? Followed, understood? Now, आगे बढ़े. Any doubts?
Sir, in which court this matter will go that ninth floor is not sanctioned?
So this will again go before the RERA authority. So there has been the fraud which has been played by the again it will be the vice versa. You have to have the criminal complaint, that is 420. Okay. Along with the criminal complaint, you have to make an application before a local municipal corporations for the demolitions and pertains to the society resolve. And then simultaneously, you have to go before the RERA authority pertains to the compensation of that amount, whatever the amount you've been paid. Getting it? Wherein
Sir,
RERA said,
litigation cost will also be given by the builder, or this is the builder's fault. And what about the money of, sir, that 50 lakh money, 60 lakh unit per unit money,
so
sir?
it is a discretionary of the court to grant the whatever the compensation is with there. It's not in the hands of the home buyers. We have been making a prayer. Okay, prayer is in heart and soul of any complaint. So what is your prayer before the authority? So in that we claim that amount.
And this is not fast track, sir, with this RERA authority, because sir, I heard about that in 2020. This is on fast track, that RERA cases suddenly rose up.
So see, RERA is not safeguarding the title rights. Number one, you should be very clear. The RERA own gate into the title of the land. They verifies it. Okay. RERA is an authority wherein they keep an eye whether the said project has to be completed on time. So the delay happens. It's not like that कि RERA है तो delay नहीं होगा. Delay happens. So
Sir,
getting
uh,
an delay. Yes, please.
sir, can a buyer demand 100% full refund? Like if any flaw views or any promised green areas blocked by a layout change. Like I am asking, buyer can demand 100% full refund or not
Okay.
for
Subject
any
to
flaw.
see in section 18 of the act, it categorically states that whenever there has been delay in possession. Okay. Whenever there has been delay in possession of the flat, then you have the two remedies that has been available before the RERA authority. Number one remedy is there either to terminate the agreement, either for the cancellation of an agreement, and to get the entire refund along with an interest. Whatever the amount which you people have been invested in that property, ये सारा पैसा आपको इंटरेस्ट के साथ लेना है और राइट्स जो है either you may have the continuation of the project till the time of completion, or you can get the monthly interest compensation whatever the amount you've been paid till the time. So these are the two remedies which has been available in case of delay in possession. Now, Niharika, your question was pertains to whatever if there has been any false promises or certainly if there has been any defect in that property. So whatever the defect is been there, what you've been claiming that has to be very clarified. Either you want the entire refund along with the cancellation or you have to continue and just to take the compensation. Getting it? I hope so you are getting it.
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
Like if I'll cancel and I want full refund. So
Okay.
in that case, what will happen?
Yes, if there has been delay in possession, taking with an example, if अगर suppose for example निहारिका ने कोई फ्लैट खरीदा है 2021 में और उसका पोजीशन डेवलपर ने प्रॉमिस किया हुआ है आज के पर एग्रीमेंट 2024, बट 2024 आते आते निहारिका को पोजीशन नहीं मिला, 2025 भी चला गया तब भी पोजीशन नहीं मिला, निहारिका ने कंप्लेंट फाइल किया अंडर सेक्शन 18 ऑफ द सेक्शन 31 में कंप्लेंट फाइल करते हैं अंडर द वायलेशन ऑफ द सेक्शन 18 ऑफ द एक्ट वेयर इन इट कैटेगरी स्टेट्स दैट Niharika have the two options, either to continue with the project and to get the compensation till the time. Either वो क्या करेगी, पूरा नहीं मुझे नहीं रहना है उस प्रोजेक्ट में, कैंसिल कर लो और मुझे सारा पैसा रिफंड कर लो. तो इस केस में सारा पैसा रिफंड होता है. Number one. Number two, whenever you've been canceling the unit, suppose for example निहारिका ने 2021 में फ्लैट बुक किया है, तो निहारिका को समझ में आया कि यार मुझे वो फ्लैट में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है, so I will not get into that, just I have given the booking amount. Okay, now once you have been given the booking amount, okay, once you have been giving the booking amount, तो उसके बाद में within 15 days if you requested for cancellation, तो जितना पैसा निहारिका ने दिया हुआ है उतना सारा रिटर्न आ जाएगा. But you've been saying after 16th day, तो उसका 1% डिडक्शन हो जाएगा पैसों का. मतलब सपोज फॉर ऑफ दैट यूनिट कंसिडरेशन प्राइस, सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल 100 रुपीज यूनिट कंसिडरेशन है, बुकिंग के पहले निहारिका ने 5 रुपीज दिए गए हैं, तो 5 रुपीज में से उसका मतलब टोटल कंसिडरेशन प्राइस क्या है, 100 rupees. Of that, Niharika have paid 5 rupees. Now, what is the rule? Within 15 to 30 days में अगर निहारिका बोलती है कि मुझे कैंसिल करना है, तो 1% डिडक्शन ऑफ द यूनिट प्राइस, मतलब 100 में से 1 रुपीज कैंसिल होगा, मतलब 5 रुपए में से 4 ही रुपए निहारिका को मिलेंगे. बट देर आफ्टर 30 डेज के बाद निहारिका आती है और डेवलपर को बोलती है मुझे कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं हो फ्लैट में, तो 1.5%. After that, it has been there 2%. Getting it followed and understood? How the cancellation works?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear, basic clear से आपका. Are you getting? Are you interesting? Are you getting? Please switch on the camera. So मुझे लगेगा कि आप lectures में attend कर रहे हो and whether you've been attentive or not. Okay, fine. Going ahead, followed. Okay. Now, what is the any doubts, everyone?
Sir, may I can I ask doubt?
Please, please,
Sir,
dear.
एक्चुअली सर महाराष्ट्र में जो होता है, महाराष्ट्र में सर अनलिमिटेड सिटीज हैं, वहाँ पे सर रेरा को लेके बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट रूल्स हैं। लेकिन
हाँ।
सर यहाँ नोएडा, वेस्टर्न यूपी, चंडीगढ़, जीरकपुर हाईवे सर, यहाँ पे बहुत स्कैम होते हैं। ये क्यों है सर? वहाँ पे, यहाँ पे सर बहुत ज्यादा होता है ये रेरा को लेके, लोग सुसाइड करते हैं सर। क्योंकि सर एक बंदा है जो अपनी जमा पूंजी अपनी सर लगाता है फ्लैट में, और वो सर अब भाग दौड़ करेगा कोई एजेड पर्सन, तो वो सुसाइड ही कर लेगा सर कूद के कहीं से। तो सर लेकिन महाराष्ट्र में ऐसे नहीं होता, इमीडिएटली होता है सर सब कुछ रिफंड। ऐसा क्यों है सर यहाँ पे?
So the act has been same. Okay. Act has been entirely been same, but rules and regulations of each and every state has been different. So try to understand. Now the very stricter pertains to the Maharashtra, then thereafter the Delhi, then thereafter the Gujarat state. So these three are the very stricter in the terms, where in the terms of and compliance. Why I'm saying that? So if there has been no compliance pertains to that, रेरा अथॉरिटी इश्यूज अ शो कॉज नोटिस, सुओ मोटो एक्शन लेता है। क्या करता है? खुद से ही एक्शन लेता है कि भाई चलो आज इसने कंप्लायंस नहीं किया, इसको पेनाल्टी लगाता है। तो व्हाट पेनाल्टी इज बीन देयर, सो अबाइड विद दैट। ओके, आर यू गेटिंग इट? सो इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन स्टेट टू टेस्ट। अगेन वन मोर इंफॉर्मेशन आई वुड लाइक टू गिव यू इज दैट व्हेन रेरा कम्स इनटू द पिक्चर इन द ईयर 2016, नाउ वेस्ट बंगाल में 2016 से 2021 तक कुछ रूल्स एंड कुछ भी हुआ नहीं रेरा के अकॉर्डिंग, बिकॉज देर वॉज हैविंग द वन स्टेट एक्ट which was contradictory to the RERA Act. Okay, there was a huge litigation, round of litigations pertains to which act will prevail pertains to the RERA Act or and all those things. And then thereafter 2021, West Bengal forms a committee, and then thereafter there has been regulatory authority. This has been quasi-judicial authority. Okay, what it has been? Quasi-judicial authority. Whatever the rights which has been governed under the Civil Procedural Code 1908, same rights has been given before the trade authority. Followed, understood? So ये क्या discrepancies है? So again, it depends upon Anush, depends upon the facts and matters of the case. It's not like that there has been on the lighter note the facts has been working. So it is earlier it was in Maharashtra, it was a fast track court, but now it has been because the pendency of the case has been increased. So due to which there has been much more delay also in Maharashtra pertains to having and the actual working problem. मैंने जब भी हम कोई solution oriented problems देखते हैं तो again it takes a long run. So this is an one type of the litigations. It been forming, it's like a civil forum. Okay, but it's not like that up to that, but it taking time. As per the RERA, the case has to be resolved within 60 days, but practically it won't. Okay, so these are the major loophole technicalities. Again, the government support has been also required due to the localites, because the entire payments, okay, that has to be paid by the local state governments. Okay, followed. So there's been, if you go through the RERA activity, okay, followed, understood. समझ में आया? So the
थैंक
major
यू।
this has been there pertains to the each and every states. Okay, rules and regulations different है तो उसकी वजह से. Okay, followed, understood. Now objective, just we try to understand, हम सीख रहे हैं, we're trying to understand कि रेरा क्या है, क्या प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा है, कैसे होम बायर्स को हेल्प हो सकता था. Earlier scenario में what was a major problem which was been home buyer was been facing. So we step by step हम सीख रहे हैं कि क्या problems थे, उसका रेरा solution क्या बोलता है. Okay, now again objective क्या था? Transparency लाना. Then thereafter it has been malpractice रुकाना. Okay, transparency होने के बाद malpractice earlier. What was the major problem which I've been facing, which we've been looking over the matters, was the delay in possession is in RERA still is in the 70% of the litigations pertains to the delay in possession. ओके, तो ये बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है आज भी, बट इसका प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशंस रेरा जब भी कोई ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूशन होता है, ऐसे समझ लो कि सिर्फ आप रेरा में कंप्लेंट फाइल करने से, ऑर्डर लेने से आपके फेवर में एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं होता है. मतलब सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल रेरा पास एन ऑर्डर to give the refund of amount 80 lakhs to the home buyers. Still RERA has been, still the home buyer is not acting on that order. So what has happened? So he will file either the appeal or he will not do anything. So what will an home buyer have to do? File an execution petition. execution of an order. So again he will appear whether usko kuch objection hai ya nahi hai. Once this execution order is been there, since said order is been given to the local collector as well as the talatis where the property has been located of an home by the developers and the account has to be seized. Now whether they've been acting on that order or not, that has been again major problem. So in some majority of the problems, the developers settle with the local tahsildars and the collector, and the huge loss has been facing by the home buyers. Either he been lost, taking the loss pertains to that, and still he has been into the lost even after the litigation. So this was the major problem. So we have to go to the High Court to take the directions and to give the directions to the collector as well and Tahsildar to act on the order which has been passed by the RERA executing authority. So are you getting it? कितना complexities होता है इसको स्टेप बाय स्टेप समझने में. नाउ सेकंड थंब रूल समझ लो आप कि इसमें देयर इज बीन जुरिसडिक्शन होता है. जुरिसडिक्शन मतलब आप कहाँ पे केसेस फाइल करते हो. तो उसके केसेस फाइल करते वक्त देयर इज बीन द टू जुरिसडिक्शंस ultimately. So one has been in the RERA, there has been category only and only the pecuniary jurisdiction, only and only pertains to the pecuniary as well as in territorial jurisdictions. Okay. So RERA is only working on the territorial jurisdiction, wherein जब भी हम consumer quorum में कोई फाइल करते हैं तो वहां पे हम we will seeing either the territorial forum, territorial jurisdiction as well as an pecuniary jurisdiction. Okay, follow, understood, clear. यहाँ पे हम सिर्फ देखते हैं कि टेरिटोरियल जुरिसडिक्शन कहाँ पे है. क्लियर? Yes, great. So going ahead, how RERA actually works. Okay, whenever there has been discrepancy which has been mentioned in an agreement. Okay, if there has been, suppose for an example, there has been certain things that developer plays a fraud. एक एग्जांपल के तौर पे समझते हैं. Suppose Anuj have purchased a property. So on an RERA certificate, the completion date has been mentioned, suppose 1 January 2025. But agreement में mention हुआ है कि 1 January 2026. And the actual home buyer जब कोई प्रोजेक्ट खरीदता है, कोई फ्लैट खरीदता है, at that time it is been mentioned at 1 January 2025. So which date you have to consider? So that has to be very important. That is very important pertains to that. Okay, getting it? So which date will prevail? Whatever it has been mentioned in an agreement to sell. Okay, not the RERA certificate, not the whatever it has been mentioned earlier to that. Whatever the date which has been mentioned in an agreement to sell, that will prevail always in before the RERA authority. Followed, understood? Now, if this dispute arises, then you have to file a complaint before the RERA authority. To filing and complaint, there has been pro forma. Everything has been there in the RERA. सब कुछ जो भी है वो फॉर्मेट में है. आपका दिमाग लगाना नहीं है. Simple. As per the format, as per your facts of the case, you have to mention. And for filing of the complaint, what are the prescribed fees? That is 5,000 plus GST is the prescribed fees for filing and complaint before the RERA authority. Now, what is a hierarchy? जब भी हम कोई revenue authority, civil forum law, consumer forum law, whatever the forum it may be there. So you have to understand what is a hierarchy. Suppose, for example, we file a complaint before the RERA authority. So that is go before an real estate regulatory authority. Okay. Now, उसमें भी दो चीजें हैं. क्या दो चीजें हैं? There has been two forums, मतलब two benches. One is an adjudicating authority, one is an RERA authority. Make a note. एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी के पास कौन से मैटर्स जाते हैं? जब भी कोई वायलेशन होता है सेक्शन 12, 14, 18, 19, तब हम एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी के पास कंप्लेंट फाइल करते हैं. Whenever there has been violation of section 12, 14, 18, 19, you will go before an adjudicating authority. और रिमेनिंग जो भी ग्रीवियंस है वो हम रेरा अथॉरिटी. अगर उसका ऑर्डर चैलेंज करना है, रेरा अथॉरिटी एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी पास्ड एन ऑर्डर दैट इज नॉट इन द फेवर, सो यू हैव टू चैलेंज दैट. सो यू विल गो बिफोर एन रेरा अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल अंडर सेक्शन 44. रेरा में हम और एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी में जाते हैं, मतलब नीचे जाते हैं तो रेरा में तो सेक्शन 31 के अंदर जाते हैं, wherein you will go before an appellate section 44. Then thereafter, if you have to challenge that appellate order, you will go before the High Court. If you have to challenge that High Court order, you will go before the Supreme Court. So are you understanding getting the hierarchy? Cleared, समझ में आया? So what is the scope in this? आपको तो बेसिक समझ में आ रहा है, you are getting it कि so and so is when there, ये है वह है. So आपके लिए स्कोप क्या है? Okay, what is important? So see, whenever you've been learning the RERA, so just I'm letting you know few skills that has to be understood. So this is just 1 hour sessions. I've tried to accumulate much more basic informations pertains to that. But taking into the detailings of this, it may take an hours of the learnings, not just by understanding the ऊपर से कुछ समझने में कोई मतलब नहीं होता है. So you have to understand more into the detail. So particularly what are the areas wherein you people can have the practice. Okay, ultimately you have to earn the money, everyone. Okay, you have to, by learning the skills, you have to earn the money. So based on that, what your focus should be there, जो स्किल पार्ट है उस पे फोकस करना है आपकी लीगल जर्नी में. तो क्या स्किल्स है, आपको क्या क्या सीखना है इसके बारे में. Agreements कैसे पढ़ना है, how to read an agreements, how to find in between the lines what has to be there. Then thereafter we have to understand the pertains to what are the kinds of the litigations, what kind of the problems which you've been solving. Always being a law students, always act as a lawyer. ऐसे सोचना है कि मैं लॉयर बन चुका हूँ, बन चुकी हूँ. आपको ऐसे सोचना नहीं कि मैं अभी लॉ स्कूल में हूँ तो मुझे अभी आता नहीं है, हमारे इसमें सब्जेक्ट नहीं है और हमें सिखाया नहीं. सो दिस इज नॉट द राइट सॉल्यूशन. You have to have the straight check plan pertains to once you've been qualified being a lawyer, what will be your identity, what and how is your target audience pertains to whatever the skills which has been there, what offerings you can add on, or the what services you can give to the your clients, your surrounding circles. Okay, just very clearly skill सीखना है हमें आज. Whenever you've been, well, I also you've been, everyone will be the law students or the lawyers, young lawyers. So focus on the skills always and have the other fellow things continuously by learning, reading the judgments pertains to each and everything. So रेरा एक्ट एक ऐसा एक्ट है, एक ऐसा प्रैक्टिस है जहां आप आपके घर बैठे वे भी आप प्रैक्टिस करते सकते हो. वेर इन दिस इज बिन द हाइब्रिड मोड. ओके, ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन फिजिकल भी जा सकते हो. एंटायर थिंग्स ऑनलाइन इज बिन देयर, सबमिशंस इज बिन देयर, यू हैव टू हैव द स्पीड पोस्ट परटेंस टू दैट. ओके, आर यू गेटिंग इट? कितना easy act है, very small sweet act has been there. So again, रियल एस्टेट एजेंट के बारे में थोड़ा सा क्रक्स बता देता हूँ कि जस्ट एवरीवन विल बी बियरेबल विथ मी. Yes, shall I have the more inputs? I can give you more 1 hour lecture, 1 hour talk with you people, but I want you to be have the encouragement or pertains to your inputs should be there. That has been very important. Everyone will be bearable from next 10 minutes. Okay, chalo fine. Real estate agency, तीन चीजें हैं, तीन क्लाइंट्स बन सकते हैं आपके. एक तो डेवलपर है, एक तो रियल एस्टेट एजेंट है, एक तो होम बायर्स है. तो आपको तीनों के एंगल से पढ़ाई करनी है और आपके क्लाइंट्स बना सकते हो. रियल एस्टेट एजेंट्स को कैसे है ना, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट, जब भी हम कोई रेरा प्रोजेक्ट रजिस्ट्रेशन करते हैं तो रेरा के बारे में हम बेसिक समझ लो. रेरा इज ओनली फॉर एंड अबाउट द प्रोजेक्ट दैट इज 500 स्क्वायर मीटर्स और 8 यूनिट्स. 500 स्क्वायर मीटर्स और 8 यूनिट्स इसके बिलो है तो उसका कोई रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं होता है. ओके, रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉल्स वर्क्स फॉर द plotted projects, commercial, residentials. Okay, it will be not applicable to any hospitals, colleges, or any different institutes. Wherever there has been sale, marketing, advertisement pertains to that, RERA will be applicable. Cleared, understood? RERA कहाँ पे applicable होगा, RERA कहाँ पे applicable नहीं होगा. 500 square meters or 8 units, that is with the RERA applicabilities. Understood? Clear? Now the word or is been used in an act, not an and. Either 500 square meters, either 8 units. जब भी कोई ये क्वालिफिकेशन होता है तो रेरा में मैंडेटरी होता है रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन करना. क्लियर है? नाउ रीडेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स में रजिस्ट्रेशन करना मैंडेटरी होता है, सब्जेक्ट टू, suppose for example the existing standalone building is 10 units but redevelopment के बाद भी 10 units है, there has been no new addition of unit sale, advertisement, marketing, then in that instances no requirement of the not requirement of the RERA registration. Wherever there has been more than 10 units, 11 units बन जाते हैं तो compulsorily RERA registration करना है. Followed, understood, getting it cleared, everyone. So pertains to an real estate agent. Agents के बारे में देखोगे तो now prior to 2023 earlier scenario था, मैं 2023 के बाद में ही बोलता हूँ आपको, तो आपको कंफ्यूजन नहीं होगा. जब भी कोई रियल एस्टेट एजेंट को रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है, रियल एस्टेट एजेंट के लिए कोई क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं होता है, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, उसको सबसे पहले रेरा अथोराइज सेंटर से लेक्चर करना पड़ेगा, ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन हाइब्रिड मोड पे है. देयर इज बिन द लेक्चर्स, वो लेक्चर्स का अटेंडेंस कंपलसरी है 75%. उसके बाद में मतलब शॉर्ट लेक्चर्स होते हैं 2-3 दिन के, तो वो करना है. उसकी प्रिस्क्राइब फी है 5000 प्लस जीएसटी. देन देयर आफ्टर वंस दैट इज बीन डन, देन देयर आफ्टर there has been the examination of an real estate agent that has been 100 marks, and out of 100 marks the qualification is 40%, each carrying two marks ka each question. Total 50 questions has been there. That is registration fees is 1500 plus GST. Then thereafter again comes down for the main part of an registration. So registration के two parts है, individual and other than the individual. Individual यानी and single person. Okay, that prescribed fees is 10,000 plus GST for an real estate agent. When it other than individual है, मतलब जो कोई company है as an acting as the real estate agents, then that is when required 1 lakh plus GST. Followed, understood? Are you getting it? जो हम discuss कर रहे हैं easy है. ओके बहुत इजी है ये एक्ट. अगर आप समझते हो इसका इंट्रासिटी, यू विल बी मास्टरिंग दिस एक्ट, एंड आई होप सो एवरीवन हैव लाइक दिस सेशन. वी विल just not extend much more, just whatever the queries has been there from your end, let me know. So this is from my side. What whether I hope so you've been getting much more knowledge pertains to that. This has been much more helpful, and this will uplift your knowledge and make the practical sense whatever you've been working right now. So I think so इसका implications बहुत होना है. Execution जो भी हम सीखे हुए हैं, तो execution होना बहुत जरूरी होता है. Execution is the key to success. Okay, I have been starting the practice only on the basis of an executions. Okay, that has been very important. जब भी हम कोई स्किल सीखते हैं, जब भी हम कोई नया चीज सीखते हैं, तो उसका एग्जीक्यूशन प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. तो आप एग्जीक्यूशन कैसे करोगे? व्हाट विल बी द योर टेक अवेज फ्रॉम द टुडे सेशंस? यस, anyone, any 3 students, I want to, what are the takeaways, what you have learned from the today's sessions? Yes, Rume? Yes, whom I have the takeaways, whatever we have been discussing till last 1 hour, what is your takeaways? Okay, yes, anyone?
सर
Understanding the end-to-end process from the commencement to completion,
Please can I
from
switch
the
off the talk? That will be great. Yes,
uh,
please.
yeah, let me see if you can see me.
Great,
Can you see
great,
me?
great, sir.
Yeah. So the understanding of the end-to-end process from the buyers and the builders perspective, what you talked about from the commencement to completion certificate, and what are the, the different avenues the buyers actually have, in case of any problems he actually faces within the 5 years, and so on and so forth. And the various process, and specifically the practical angle what we talked about, right? Like theory you can learn, but the practical aspect how exactly you can apply. I think that's the biggest learning for me today. And thank you,
Great,
sir, for sharing.
great, Bhupendra ji, very well. Yes, others have not learned. Yes, whether you've been learned today or not.
यस सर.
Chalo, what you have learned?
सर एग्जैक्टली फ्रॉम ए टू जेड, फ्रॉम द बायर्स पर्सपेक्टिव के उनके हित में क्या क्या हम दे सकते हैं, व्हाट आर देयर रूल्स के रेरा पे अगर वो उनको टाइम पे नहीं मिलता है तो उनके पास 2 ऑप्शंस हैं. एक तो वो पूरे के पूरा अपना मनी बैक ले सकते हैं विथ इंटरेस्ट, और दूसरा वो अपने साथ उसको कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं और उसको में भी उसको इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा जितना लेट होगा.
Great. What are the other things we have been understanding, the thumb rules?
इसमें हम हमारे लिए एडवोकेट्स के लिए 3 ऑप्शंस हैं. एक तो हम जो जिसको फ्लैट मिलेगा उससे भी हम बना सकते हैं अपना एग्रीमेंट्स वगैरह, और दूसरा जो बिल्डर है उसके लिए भी, और तीसरा जो एजेंट है उसके लिए भी।
Okay, okay. So try to understand. This field is very well. Whenever just you have to understand the means your clients will be either three of these. Okay, no fourth
यस,
person claim before the RERA authority. Getting it? So just you have to try to understand more details, more intricacies of the act. You have to read the judgments pertains to that. And if any doubts has been there, you people may reach out to me. Okay, whatever the doubts अगर कुछ भी है तो you people may reach out to us. Okay, fine. And so, yes, any others who may share whether what we have learned in the today's session? Yes, you've been a lawyers and the law students. You have to be. This is an opportunity to talk. Okay, so have the expression skills pertains to whatever you've been having. So it will add on the values whenever you've been appearing before the court of law. Okay, just have this. The courage होना चाहिए जब भी कुछ सीखते हो तो उसको एप्लीकेशन होना बहुत जरूरी है. Okay, yes, who will?
Yes, yes, sir. I
Great.
understood how RERA protects home buyers from unfair practices by builders and developers. I learned the importance of carpet area standardizations and how it promotes transparency in property transactions. And I also understood how RERA helps reduce the risk of misuse of buyers' monies and promote financial disciplines among developers.
Great, great. Yes, others? Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sir, with your experience, sir, in what time buyer will get the refund after cancellation of the property, sir?
It totally depends upon the developer. Again, I'm saying that one of my client I've been gone before the till the court, and now the matter has been settled after 4 years. Okay. Again, it's depend upon the parties who has been the developer. Whether developer has been bankrupt or whether developer has been insolvent, then in that case इसके पास पैसा ही नहीं कंस्ट्रक्शन करने के लिए, कंस्ट्रक्शन रुक चुका है और he is become insolvent, then that proceedings will go before an NCLT forum, National Company Law Tribunal. Okay, that will be governed under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Whenever the developer is not having the funds to construction of the further, and he's been the debt has been more than whatever his asset has been there. So in that case, it might be very difficult. Then there has been CRP proceedings, corporate insolvency resolution. तो वो सारा प्रोसेस होने के बाद अगर कॉर्पोरेट इंसॉल्वेंसी रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस वर्क्स आउट नहीं होता है, देन इट विल गो इनटू द लिक्विडेशंस. वंस लिक्विडेशन इज बीन देयर, लिक्विडेटर्स अपॉइंट के बाद आपका जहाँ पे जितना पैसा है वो उनका परसेंटेज में मिलता है. सो द लॉन्ग जर्नी, दिस मल्टीपल थिंग्स. सुप्रीम कोर्ट इंटरप्रेट द लॉज इन डिफरेंट मैनर्स एवरी टाइम. So you have to be keep updating what is the exact things, whatever you've been claiming. You should be very clear about whatever you want to claim.
So can I share my experience?
Yes, please.
Sir, actually in 2012, my parents and my some relatives went to the sir Sushma developers at sir some Zirakpur highway. So they are building up a unit and a vast building, and they have hired the some sir agents, the sir dealers, property dealers, local dealers, to sir that to say sell the units, sir. And at that time in 2012 to 2020, they have sir attracted more than their target of the audience and the like the customers, their clients, because clients gave them the money on the behalf of return of सर कि उन्हें रिटर्न मिल जाएगा सर आफ्टर यूनिट सोल्ड आउट हो गया सुषमा डेवलपर्स का, तो रेंट के अकॉर्डिंग मिल जाएगा इनको, कस्टमर्स को, क्लाइंट्स को रिटर्न वो रेंट पे दे सकते हैं. लेकिन सर एक्चुअली उसमें रील्स में मैंने देखा फिर सोशल मीडिया पे कि वहाँ पे लोग इकट्ठे हो गए और वो बोल रहे हैं कि हमने अपने बच्चों की फीस दे दी, स्कूल की फीस दे दी, अब हम क्या करें. ये इन्होंने सर एक यूनिट पे दो दो बुकिंग्स कर ली. ऐसे क्या हो गया सर कि स्कैम हो गया कि पता ही नहीं था. तीन तीन बुकिंग्स हो गई सर, तीन पार्टीज ने पैसे दे दिया एक यूनिट पे, और सर उनके पास 50 यूनिट्स उनकी तैयार हो गई, लेकिन वो रेरा के अंडर नहीं थी या क्या नहीं था सर, उसमें क्या लूप होल हो सकता है, कुछ आप सर लाइट डाल सकते हैं इस पे?
So if one unit has been sold to two different persons, one of my client has been there. So just we've been having the same case, whatever you've been facing, no? Same case. So in that instances, the FI will be the good solution. Number one. Number two, again for the cancellation of an agreement and to get the possession of that property. Number two, whether it has been the RERA. Prior to 2012, there was no RERA, so RERA will not come. Civil proceedings will go. Suit for the specific performance, whereas suit for the cancellation of an agreement and to get the refund of the amount. Section 34 specifically deals of the that. Then thereafter, multiplicity of the proceedings simultaneously you have to work out in these scenarios. जब भी ऐसा कोई scenario होता है, double fraud हो जाता है, so you have to make an culprit to the, you have to make an offenses against that register office, the who has been the developers along with their partners. So once this comes down for an registration, so again this is an huge fraud. So in that, so now it is earlier IPC, and now it has been 420 and 406 and 409 offenses. Then thereafter, now it is 3184, 316 to 3162, and the punishment is more than the 7 years, that is in 10 years. So prior other sections has been having the 7 years. So there has been the high chances of an arrest pertains to in these kinds of the frauds. So the developer immediately go before the court of law for having an anticipatory bill applications. So that creates an pressures amongst the parties, and to have the settlement between the parties. If अगर settlement नहीं होता है, तो वो खुद से ही, there is been three concepts, is the three things in the forum of an NCLT pertains to the corporate debtor. The corporate debtor यानी जो पैसा लेता है, तो corporate debtor जो होता है वो खुद ही application करता है before the insolvency NCLT forum pertains to an under the IBC Act under section 1011 of the Act. So it says that we become an insolvent, हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है कंस्ट्रक्शन करने के लिए, हमारा कंपनी जो है या तो टेक ओवर करो, सीआई पे प्रोसीडिंग करो, या लिक्विडेशन करके जो भी ड्यूज पेंडिंग है जितना एसेट्स लेके वो खत्म कर दो. सो दिस आर द प्रोसीडिंग्स व्हिच हैपेंस. अगेन सपोज यू विल से दैट सर कि डेवलपर की लायबिलिटी है 100 करोड़ और एसेट्स है सिर्फ 50 करोड़. सो दैट 50 करोड़ जो है उसमें ही डिवॉल्व परसेंटेज अमाउंट देंगे और बाकी के भूल जाना पड़ता है. So this is the practical things that has been there in the terms of due process of law.
थैंक यू सर. उसमें सर एक्चुअली लाइबिलिटी हो गई थी उसकी 200 करोड़ एंड उसके पास सर जो एसेट्स थे सर उसके थे 25 to 50 करोड़ ओनली. 200 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा की लाइबिलिटी उसने कर ली थी सर.
Nothing. If there has been no money, just he will be fine behind the bars. And but how the entirely, but civil dispute is when the entire recovery is when the recovery nature is when there. Okay, so recovery nature that has to be fulfilled. Again, वो recovery जो होता है वो entity के नाम पे होता है, individual liability नहीं होती है. Try to understand. Two different persons. Individual is having different capacity, wherein the company is having the different liabilities. Hmm? So, n number of things before the NCLD forum is been there. How it the entire process has to be worked out within the max 180 days, and it may be extended to the 90 days. So, उसका result उतने दिनों में आता है. ऐसे this is the process wherein if money has been not there, then nothing can be done.
थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू.
Yes. Any doubts? Others? किसी को कोई भी doubts है या something? Whether you have enjoyed the sessions, whether I hope so you have got the values pertains to this.
तो
Should we
इसमें
file a complaint
इसमें
against
जैसे आपने
agent?
एग्जांपल दिया,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Should we file complaint against agent also?
No, agent when agent ने fraud किया हुआ है तब, whenever agent is also the victim of this crime, then what so? It's depend upon the facts and circumstances of the case.
Okay, sir.
File home buyer can file. No worries about that.
तो जैसे आपने एग्जांपल दिया कि 4 years आपका एक जैसे आपके क्लाइंट का केस चला, तो लाइक इसमें फीस इतना मिलता है कि हम 4 years तक कितना.
Very well. It's depend upon your capabilities.
मतलब है इतना.
Very well, very well. It's
अच्छा, ओके।
again, it's totally depend upon whom you are dealing with, what is your resource, and number of things has been there. So okay, always remember, law एक ऐसी field है जहाँ पे sky is limit. Okay, there is no terms pertains to the money. Once you see, दो चीजें मैं आपको जाते जाते बोलता हूँ कि लॉ एक ऐसी फील्ड है जहाँ दो चीजें होती है। एक तो आप को एक तो नीचे के तौर पे रहना है, मतलब भेड़ बकरियों में रहना है, या एक बियॉन्ड द लैडर जाना है। हमेशा मेरे गुरु ने कहा है, whenever you will be beyond the ladder, there will no competition and people will not ask you how much I have to pay. Whatever the amount which you've been stating, that will be your fees. So you have to decide by your capabilities, by your skills, and by your act before the court or before your surrounding people, how you behave, and number of things is when there. You have to understand the ethics, you have to understand the business mindset pertains to how you have to deal with that. Okay, so आप जब भी beyond the ladder होते हैं तो कोई टेंशन नहीं होता है। सो वेदर यू बीन अंडर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ दैट बियॉन्ड द लैडर, और जब आप सिर्फ एक नॉर्मल तौर पे करते हैं तो करना है। So these two things has been different. If you have been mastering the law, if you've been having the very good command on the law, then it has been fortunate enough, law field is sky's limit for you people. Okay, but command होना बहुत जरूरी है। command कैसे आएगा? हर रोज जजमेंट पढ़ना। विदाउट जजमेंट रीडिंग कोई भी इस फील्ड में सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ है।
सर इस फील्ड में आपके हिसाब से किस किस चीज में कमांड हासिल करना चाहिए या कौन से स्किल्स पे काम करना चाहिए?
Number one, the communication skill. Number two is the networking skills. That has been very, very important. Number three is an art of reading the judgments. That has been very important. And number four, the how you present. That is an art of an advocacy that has to be there. Okay, कुछ pillars होते हैं, मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें होती है जहाँ आपको practice में help होती है। तो आपको in the initials you will not have the clients. So आपको क्लाइंट के फोकस के लिए you have to go before the networking events. Okay, now you've been the lawyers right now, law students have the some networking events. Okay, have the connect, so you will never know where from where the matter will come. So I have trained more than 100 plus law students and lawyers, of which my students are referring the matters to me. Okay, getting it? So you never know which matters will comes from where. So again, we help students to get that matters. So कैसे practical skills कैसे सिखाया जाता है, how to deal with the clients, client के साथ बात कैसे करते हैं, communication skills कैसे होती है, what are the etiquettes while having the client counselings, what questions should be asked to the clients. सो ये आप अभी से सीखोगे, प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में सीखोगे। बुकिश नॉलेज कुछ काम का नहीं है आपका, आपको प्रैक्टिकलिटी मोर होना है। ओके, जब भी आप प्रैक्टिकलिटी मोर होगे तब आपके लाइफ में वो आगे जाके बहुत एग्जीक्यूशन करने में इजी होगा। नाउ यू पीपल विल स्टार्ट, आई फील इज दैट you have to start with the writing and articles, writing something pertains to and LinkedIn post. Everyone should have very good LinkedIn profile. Okay, so what, suppose for example आज जो सीखा हुआ है वो सारी चीजें LinkedIn पे पोस्ट करो। So what you will have, that will be again number one is an revision. Number two is that you will be keep updating yourself about the knowledge. Number three, people will come to know that yes, this person knows about this law. Number four, you will be in socialized in nature, wherein आपको लोगों को पता चलेगा कि ये बंदे को, ये बंदी को ये एक्ट पता है और इनको हम क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं पर्टिकुलर टू दैट। सो यू हैव टू क्रिएट योर ओन कम्युनिटी इन अपकमिंग डेज। आपको अपने आप से ही, नो वन विल बी देयर टू चलो भाई मैं आज आपको सिखाता हूँ ऐसा है। No, certain things right now actions has to be taken, so that's why I'm being very strict on my execution part. Okay, छोटी छोटी चीजें होती है, जब आप कोई जजमेंट्स पढ़ते हो तो जजमेंट्स नोट डाउन करके रख लो, so that should be the making the tip of the tongue whenever the question arises from the court of law. You never know at the time of an argument what questions will comes down, so you have to be prepared in that sense. ओके, जब वो प्रिपरेशन होगा बीइंग अ लॉ स्टूडेंट्स, तो स्काई इज लिमिट फॉर यू पीपल। ओके, एंड लॉ एक ऐसी फील्ड है जहाँ खत्म नहीं होने वाली है, जहाँ बिजनेस मतलब एन नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स, दिस n number of opportunities. You name it, everywhere there has been law required. Okay, more than 20,000 act has been there. You have to master one or three. So allied with this real estate, you have to understand the Transfer of Property Act, Ismentary Act, then thereafter Indian Evidence Act, the Limitations Act, and number of act, Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, Maharashtra Land Revenue Codes Act, just whatever the local state has been there, you have to govern with this. Okay, एक ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक टैक्ट पढ़ लिया तो सब कुछ आ गया. No, that law is evolving, and you have to understand from the all the perspectives. Follow? Understood?
Sir, exactly, yes.
Great, great. Any doubts? किसी को कोई doubts है? What about the
No, sir.
silly? Hmm? Fine, fine. Chalo, fine. Yes, sir. Okay, can we?
So your link.
Thank you, sir.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, you may reach out to me for clearing your more doubts or whatever has been there. Okay, fine. Chalo. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.